Hello all, Jeff here with a new video. For those wondering where I am, yes, I'm in Zurich for the TCR Virtual World Final. So, I've enjoyed the last few days here. I mean, this vlog isn't going to be much in terms of quality. It's probably more of a photo gallery as such, but there are videos here of my trip. Main purpose being a sim racing tournament, racing against real-world drivers such as Pepe Ariola and a lot of gun sim races in Europe. Really enjoyed myself, but let's get into this, shall we? So here we are, anxious to get out of Melbourne Airport, but then it's a 14-hour flight to Dubai, very, very long indeed. But then the plane from Dubai to Zurich, we had to stay on the plane for 2.5 hours before we got in the air. Not ideal, but once we saw snow underneath us, I was a happy man because we were about to hit Zurich. Let's go. So just saw a few little teenagers make some baked goodies, raising funds for what's happening in Ukraine. Well, I didn't have any Swiss cash on me. I really wanted to help them out, but oh, God bless them. So as you can see, Zurich is beautiful, and coming from Melbourne, Australia, it is just so nice to see all the old architecture still in place in most of the European cities. And there is snow up in those mountains, as you can see there. Now people are still skiing at the moment, and matter of fact, when I returned to Australia, it started snowing a ton, so I got away from the freezing cold, which I was quite surprised about. Now, coming from Australia, when you're in Australia, during the daytime, the sun is peaking at the north, whereas here, the sun's peaking from the south. And I know most of you are thinking, you sound like the dumbest person going around, but when you're on the other side of the world, well, you don't realise these things until you're actually there. So, if you're an Aussie and you go to Europe or America for the first time, it's a bit of a wake-up call when maps is telling you you're going the wrong way. So, just an FYI for all those wondering what's going on there. Now, once you get over all of those orientation issues, I recommend going to the FIFA Museum. Even if you're not the biggest fan of football or soccer or whatever it's called in your country, it is so good, and I spend a good 3 hours in it because it's just really interested in. For someone sport mad, it's unbelievable. This ain't a blatant rip-off of the Holden logo, well, I don't know what is. And another thing about Zurich to note is Switzerland is really expensive. So for example, my taxi ride from my motel to the airport was 60 Swiss francs, which is about $100 Australian. Yeah, you heard right. And if you want to get a drink at a bar, something non-alcoholic is like 5 francs, it's nearly $10. So that's an FYI, but if you put the ridiculous prices away for a minute, you appreciate this city and this country for its beauty because it is so worth it. And of course, being in Switzerland, well, it's the home of Lindt chocolate, so of course I had to enjoy some Lindt chocolate while I was there. But now to the main reason why I was in Zurich for the first place. So I was one of 5 people in Asia Pacific to qualify for the TCR Virtual Global Final at RacingFuel Academy in Zurich. As you can see, very beautiful views out the front. But in terms of the equipment we were using, it was very high-end stuff. Using valve pedals, direct drive wheels. Yeah, it had all the bells and whistles that we needed, and I can tell you it is such good kit. Let's check out the event. So a huge congratulations to Juan Manuel Gomez that would end up winning, coming all the way from Argentina, so a long trip to Zurich like myself. Second place, Lucas Mattea, and third place, Bartosz Groszek. Congrats guys, well deserved. Everyone at the comp was so welcoming, whether that was the drivers and the organisers. I got along all the drivers really well. You know, Vane, who runs RacingFuel, has been like, "Oh, you're the Australian, thanks for coming so far." And Manuele and Alberto, they were also very appreciative of me showing up to the event, because yeah, all the other Asia Pacific guys that qualified for this event didn't show up. So I was the only representative, but regardless, it was such a great event, and I'm glad I went to Zurich. Now, if you drive from the city to RacingFuel, the Link Factory/museum is there to have a look at on the way. But if you're taking public transport, please keep this in note.
Now, one thing to keep in mind when you go to RacingFuel is going to the right station. So if you're taking public transport, make sure you go to Horgen Oberdorf station, not regular Horgen. Why? Well, because you'll be spending 15-20 minutes walking up steep hills. It's not fun. And good mate Shane Jordan, him, his wife and his son did that walk. Not an ideal family situation.
And after the event, dinner, drinks were to be had, and a few of us went to the casino. So myself, one of the other drivers in Turbo Probes, as well as his manager/mate in Giorgio Simonini. He's handy on the sim as well, because he's recently joined Lamborghini's esports team. So congratulations, mate. That is well deserved. Three of us had a bit of fun. I ended up coming out on top, as you can see here, a bit of Swiss francs. I managed to keep one of the chips, but the other two, Thibaut and Giorgio, they didn't have much luck, but yeah, lady luck was on my side, and yeah, they were absolutely shocked. So that's a night I'll remember for sure. But overall, everyone there was so welcoming, so nice. We all got along like a house on fire. I mean, out of the 15 drivers that competed, I finished 13th, but let's be honest, I was just happy to be there. I kind of knew after seeing all of the European names that I would be no chance, considering how much quicker they were in the qualifying rounds. So I just thought, look, I've earned this trip, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the company of everyone and enjoy this good little European trip. And to all those at Sim Racing GP, race department, everyone that was there, thank you so much. It made the trip so much more worth it. And also, there'll be some more stuff about my trip later on the channel, so stay tuned for that.
So there you have it. That's my time at Zurich. I'd like to thank everyone at TCR that has organised this event for all of us. Obviously, it's a shame that I was the only one in Asia Pacific to be there. Yeah, I was down the back of the grid, but it was so much fun, especially on those high-end rigs as well. Oh, so good. Glad I came, yeah, and I'll remember this trip for a lifetime. So, yeah, if you did like the video, I appreciate giving me the thumbs up. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you do want to see more of my content, maybe consider subscribing and tapping the notification icon. Anyway, this is Jeff here. Happy racing. Cheers and goodbye.